Hey guys, Finn here. Look, I know no one asked for this, but I had to make this video just to make sure if any one of you guys and gals are wondering why I haven't uploaded any new episodes of Doki Salvation Remake. And my answer might trigger some people, but it's my opinion and my words nonetheless, and you don't have to agree with me. I don't have the same words and thoughts as you, it's simple as that. Now, before we get to my reasons why, let's have a refresher and a recap of what this mod is all about. Doki Salvation Remake is a remake of the original Salvation mod released on November 17, 2018. A complete retell of Sayori's salvation to the player while Monika tries to gain control over the other characters due to her being sentient just like the base game. The retell of the story is completely different from the original mod, where Monika is the main focus of the story, while Sayori and MC's story is the secondary focus. I know some people are gonna correct me in the comments telling me that this story is the main focus than the other and back and forth, but I can assure you that this is what I know and understood when I was playing the mod. Act 1 starts off similar to the original, where the MC decides to check on Sayori before the day of the festival. When he enters her house, he caught her in the act of committing rope sudoku just before she can end it all, which fixes the event seen in the original base game. However, this wasn't MC's decision, as he was told by the club president herself, Monika, warning him to go check up on Sayori before she can end it all. Then we were greeted to a nicely done animated intro, which, to be honest, is a nice addition to the experience. The next part shows we're in the hospital, seeing that the MC conflicted himself over saving his depression-ridden childhood best friend, but pleased at the same time that he was able to save her before the events unfold. Monika arrived soon after to tell the news that she told the school about Sayori's situation, which overwhelmed everyone, not just our main cast. Time has passed until the doctors let the MC and Monika to check out the recovery of the coral pink-haired girl in bed, deep into a coma. They assured themselves that Sayori will be alright, till the days follow with the other club members, Natsuki and Yuri, visited the hospital to check on Sayori. And the last few minutes of the act ended with Monika saying that Sayori should be put out of her misery to both the MC and lastly Sayori herself. During all this, while behind the scenes, Monika is struggling to take control over the character files, but to no avail. And then Act 2 starts, and this is where it starts to dip for me personally. Just like in the original, everything else is all sunshine and rainbows. Sayori has been discharged from the hospital, yet still having the bruise around her neck, but remedied by covering it in makeup when she goes to school so no one bats an eye. The duration of this act shows some literature club meetings, activities and lunch breaks, while the first character to break down was Yuri, and then Natsuki second to lament on her issues due to her friends and father. And now this is where the problem lies, because if any of you played the mod and got to that point, you'll understand where I'm going with this. First of all, Act 1 was alright, but my major gripe would be Monika's unexpected appearance when she messaged the MC, warning him about Sayori just to check up on her to see if things are okay. MC was baffled by this and made the decision to go check Sayori out, all because it was Monika's idea and not his. Fast forward to the part of the conversation with Monika in Sayori's room, where she said that, and I quote, Sayori needs to be put out of her misery. Feels like she's drawn the line. Because why would she say that after she told the MC the night before Sayori committed the act, saved her, and took her to the hospital to recover? This doesn't even help with the interaction they had when Sayori and Monika are alone in the hospital room together, and now Monika, for whatever reason, felt bad about it. So, which one is it? Are you going to delete her or not like you originally planned to do? Pick one! And that was just the first act, and we're not going off to a good start. Because now, Act 2 is where things start to dip. Again, at least for me personally. With Sayori discharged and things are yet to recover since the news broke out to the school about her situation, there are some scenes time to time that felt mundane and uninteresting. For instance, the build-up to both Yuri and Natsuki scenes where they break down from their personal issues. Oh boy, how am I going to explain this? So you know the usual scenes in some mods like going out for lunch with friends and the typical literature club meetings and activities? Well, take those in Salvation Remake and make it as long and repetitive as possible. Like, some of these seeds go on and on and on and on and on until we finally get to the scene everyone's been waiting for minutes or hours? I can't remember, because who in the fuck remembers these scenes to begin with anyway? While that's going on, the story shifts from one focus to another, making it very hard to catch up and understand what's happening from time to time. We're greeted with Sayori and had some discussion and banter and whatnot, until we meet with the others and had some decent screen time. And then a character's issue gets brought up as the next focus. For example, Yuri's wrist addiction become the next witness to try calm them down and fix them. And then we have a lunchtime break scene the next day trying to make things different, quote unquote, and so on and so forth. Now, try to remember those while it goes on repeat every single time before we get to something interesting we've been waiting for. See what I'm going with this? Act 2 becomes so boring and repetitive that I can't even remember what I'm reading or looking at. The progression is basically, meet Sayori or any of the club members, have lunch together, enter the club, character shows their major flaw, try to fix them, meeting ends, Monica being sus, and the next day comes. This is the reason why I haven't made any progress with this mod. And I only stopped at the part where Natsuki laments her issues with her quote-unquote good friends and her father's abuse. But the key word here being her good friends, as she was being treated unfairly, unlike the literature club members. The build-up and the pacing in some places are so terrible that I can't even follow what's going on or happening. So, you already get the point what I'm trying to say here, right? The first act was okay, with only one crucial detail that bugs me so much I started to form any questions in mind as I continue playing. And then the second act tries to make it even worse with Yuri and Natsuki. Like, what is Monica's actual purpose? I know some of you people are going to say that she's acting like how she was in the original game and OG Salvation.
What are you sure about that?
Then how are you going to explain when she warned MC, which is a mannequin throughout the story as far as I know, to check on Sayori in the middle of the night and only did it just because he was only told? And most importantly, saying that she said that, quote unquote, get rid of her misery in the hospital room. Like I said, does she really want to get rid of her, or in other words, delete her, or not? And it gets even worse when she lied about Yuri leaving the literature club and her friends behind, only then for Natsuki and Sayori found out that Yuri was only taking a break from attending the club because of her wrist addiction and recovering from said addiction after being convinced by mannequin characters' words of wisdom and help and friendship. Then last, but certainly not least, Monica's repetitive monologuing. These happen constantly all the time whenever the Doki struggle with the respective breakdowns and flaws, and woe is me for unable to gain access to the fucking game console like a Minecraft admin. And it's really getting repetitive that I don't care about them anymore. And yes, I understand her sentience has something to do with this, but does it really need explaining? And do I really care about it? Do we care about this? No! And before I end this video, yes, I am also aware about the situation regarding the mod creator and author 12GizGuy6. I never talked with the guy that much, but from what I've seen or heard, he is actually a nice guy. I know the guy has passion and potential with the mods he created in the past. The original Salvation, One Last Memory, and Through My Eyes. Sure, the original Salvation may be dated compared to most mods today, but the story still holds up, to me personally and to some people, in its regard as a legacy mod that became a stepping stone for pioneering the base game story and improved upon it with a different spin. In light of recent memory of the criticism he received from my friends in Savage Central's livestream of the mod, J Killen Gaming and Toon Eternal, they were trying to voice their opinion as to why they didn't like the mod and other things they found out when they played it themselves. Gizguy joined in not too long after and read the chat while Comrade was still playing the mod. I only watched and let my friends do their thing as the mod creator tried to make it plausible with his explanation why, what, when, and how. Then things became heated as the stream comes to a close. Gizguy disappeared out of the blue and deleted everything. His socials and download sources of Salvation Remake, all because of the criticism he took from, not just from my friends, but also to some people who genuinely dislike the mod. And it's because he took it too seriously that it hurts him. Now I know some of you people are going to roast or run me into the ground for not stopping them or refute in any shape or form. Let me tell you something. Criticism is subjective. People have different tastes whether they like it or not, because it's their opinion. You don't have to like it if you don't want to. That's the purpose of likes and dislikes. They are not them, so they don't have the same thoughts or opinions as them, and people can think and review things however they wish because it's their decision. Fandoms have dealt with this kind of situation before. To name a few, such as the Transformers fans and Sonic the Hedgehog fans, it's the norm that some certain group of people are divisive between a certain topic or anything that's going on within the fandom. And that same thing applies here in the DDLC community, modding, and /or in general. The main reason why I'm looking forward to play this remake is because the original Salvation mod is my all-time personal favorite. And when Gizguy made a post years ago about a potential remake of Salvation, I became excited. Years came by and a teaser trailer was released, made me excited even more. But when I actually get to play the mod on its release, that's where the cracks start to form. The story is not just focused on Sayori and MC, but also Monica. I get what the author is trying to do, a story that he wanted to tell, as he said before that he wasn't proud of the original Salvation story, which led him to retell the story from the ground up, and the result turned out to be a confusing, contradicted mess with two stories being the main focus in one. But if you like this mod more than I do, then I respect that, and more power to you. Don't feel sorry for me if I don't like it. It's as simple as saying, I don't like it. Period. End of conversation. I'm only saying this because I'm voicing my opinion about this mod as well. I will do my best to try and finish this mod by still going through it blind, as I have yet to form my full opinion and thoughts on it. But if the rest of the mod is going to be filled with repetitive stuff that some people don't care about, or at least for me, then I would say that this is the first mod that made me stop and quit playing and decide to play something else. I know this is my job as a content creator, but it's my decision and my right to do whatever I want in my channel while still respecting the wishes of my viewers, fans, and friends.